pull my chair. In the interest of full disclosure, I'm going to show you the good, the bad, and the ugly. I'm the ugly. The good is pretty much the cabinets came out fine. The bad, unfortunately, is, uh-oh, there's a crack. Actually, I didn't get enough glue on that. I think that's the problem. I know it was clamped tight, but somewhere around here, there's a little bit of a lack of glue. Not a super big deal, but I'm not happy. But that's what happens sometimes. You screw up, so you got to fix it, and that's how you learn and how you grow doing this stuff, is by messing stuff up. So I have an injector that injects glue. I'm going to put some glue in. I'm going to shoot it in here. I'm going to make sure I got plenty in there. I'm going to let it sit this way, let it drip down as much as I can, and then I'll just clamp this. Everything else seems fine. Just this one spot, I guess, didn't have enough glue. Alright, so as usually happens when I'm doing some kind of woodworking project, I usually manage to just screw something up. So in this case, I managed to not put enough glue on this joint right here. So I got to squirt some glue in there and fix this mess. Not a big deal, but it needs to be addressed. So the way to do that is with this little device here. This is I think it's called a glue syringe. I've used it a few times for working with veneer. When I couldn't get my veneer to sit flush, you have to drill a little hole and inject this between the veneer and your base piece, and then you're good to go. So I'm going to document my little mess here. I'm going to put a fair little amount in there because let it squish out. I don't care. Yikes. I don't want to do that. Alright, well, at least I have plenty of glue in there anyway. Glue's not that expensive. So I take my plunger, fit that in there like this. Oh, and it's squirting all over the place. I got more glue in there than I thought. Lest you think this is going to be some kind of blooper reel, this is life for me. It's tough being me. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to squirt as much of this in there as I can get in there. I don't want to open the crack up, but I want to make sure that everywhere there is a crack, the glue gets in there. Excuse me for turning my back to the camera, but I just want to make sure there's lots of glue in there. I'm not going to do this again. I'm only going to do this once, so let there be many pieces of glue. So keep going. Now that's a ridiculous amount of glue. Obviously it doesn't need that much, but just let it open it up a little bit. Let it seep in. I don't know how close I'm getting into this, but what I'm doing is I'm just opening the crack up a smidge. I don't want to break it open, but I do want to make sure that the glue has a chance to work its way into every tight little crevice. I'm working on kind of an angle so it has a tendency to just not come out one side or the other, but just come out of every place. So I think that's about enough glue. That's quite a bit of glue actually. I'll wipe off the excess. And I'm going to let it soak in for a minute or two, and I'm going to lightly clamp it. I do not want to squeeze out all the glue that I just put in there. But I do need to clamp it and make sure that it holds. So yeah, there's a lot of glue in there. Just want to give it time to soak down into the areas where it's not making contact. There's probably going to be a little bit of area in here where there's no glue, but it'll be a very small area, and either side will be very rigid. So I'm not worried about it because I'm going to have 2 more layers coming on each side of this particular box. So I think I'm ready to lightly clamp. Let me do it like this. See, I'll probably put a couple. just bear down on this just enough. Get a little glue coming out, but not enough to squirt all of it out. How can the glue secure this thing tight if I squirt all the glue out? Alright. Put another one on here. And again, all I'm doing, I'm just bringing it snug. That's it. And another one. Right about here. So you can see the glue starting to ooze out. That's why I put a ton in there. Some's going to ooze out, but yes, the majority of it is just going to, not the majority, but enough is going to stay in there. I don't want to put so much glue that it makes the thing actually physically thicker. But these clamps have poly pads on them, so they're not going to scratch or dig in and get out this thing too bad. Not that I'm worried, I got 2 more layers coming on. So that's basically how I fixed that screw up. Sounds better. Let me put one more little clamp on. This always happens, no matter, I don't care how careful I try to be, I always mess something up. This is minor though. I've done way worse than this, so I'm not too worried about it. This will be fixed in, by tomorrow I can take the clamps off and it'll be like it never even happened. Except for the fact that I'm going to document it and put it online for all the world to see. But aside from that, nobody will ever know. Alright, that's how you fix the screw up. A little glue, and a glue injector. Let me go clean this out right now. This was expensive. Okay, it's a little time has passed. It's been probably a month and a half or so since I last fixed my last mistake there. Cabinets are looking pretty good. Got 4 of them. And that's pretty dead. I'm real happy with that. I stopped with 4 layers of HDF on either side. I don't think it needs any more than that. It's pretty dead. So here's a shot of the extra glue that oozed out and hardened from my mistake, my screw up. You really can't, you're not going to be able to tell when I'm done. I don't hear any hollow spots. It's like hard as a rock, most of it. So I would say I took care of that problem. And it's not a big deal. Like I said, every time I build something, I screw something up somehow. I manage to do it. I don't care if it's small or a big thing. I always manage to screw something up. So I ain't worried about it. Once it's veneered and finished up and polished up real nice, you'll never know. Look at these. You know, I made so many mistakes when I made these. Can't even tell, can you? They came out nice. What's that? An alternating stripe of veneer? You'll never see it. It says it's going to be at the bottom. No, little mistakes are no big deal.